All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Craps on a Thursday here. We're in the middle of this series we're doing on, excuse me, on 3-unit challenges and small bankroll. So kind of combining two things here. So I'm going to do a second day of negative progressions. We did negative progressions yesterday. I don't think I covered the topic well enough. So today I'm going to run through it a second time and I'm going to add a little piece to it. So I want to make sure that we're interesting enough too. And I think there's a good topic to be had here about can you play a side game along with your principal strategy? So a lot of times I say that, a lot of times people demonstrate that, but I'm going to roll it out today and really look at how that looks side by side. So that's going to be the goal for this morning. So with that said, do a few announcements. And I see Kevin, you're here. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning. And I see this is weird again because I know that we have people on both channels still. We have folks rushing in from Brian's channel, which is great. Brian must have been doing a little bit of practice work this morning. I love that Brian's practicing live every day. I'm going to start doing some more nighttime practicing. I'm always up late doing it. I just don't turn the camera on. So I might start filming some of that. But yeah, we're still on our side working on two channels, right? You've got some people here with me at Casino Gaming. Some people are over at Pro Craps watching from both sides. What happens to me is that on my side of it, I see your chats as one. So you all are chatting with each other on two different channels, which is weird. So if you all get over to this Casino Gaming channel and chat from one place, it'll be a little more meaningful. But that said, let's say good morning. Good morning to Grover. Grover, I still owe you a phone call. I'm sorry, I've been so cranked up around here. Let's see, who else is here? Roger Hunter looks like he started to yell at me and then stopped. I'm not sure what happened there, so you can finish your thought. Anyway, let's get to it today. My announcements this morning are the same as yesterday for the most part. I'm going to keep on reminding you, hold on. Keep on reminding you of the DiceCon in June with Jeremy and the whole crew from Color Up. It's looking like a pretty big crew coming, which is great. At least 20 people I know are signed and more coming for sure. My whole family's going, me, myself, my wife, my daughter, my son, maybe Char's going to go. I don't know. If I can convince her to play dice, I might get her to come out there for sure. That'd be really cool. But you get over there and get signed up. Color Up Club is great. It's such a fun, the community over there is awesome. Like, we're in the Discord and we're just chatting and bullshitting all day long. It's really a great place to just be anyway. So there's that. The Craps chat this weekend, Sunday at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific with Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps. I have a suspicion we'll be talking a little bit about the Craps League that I talked about yesterday. But you know how that show goes, right? Carve out 2 hours because Jeff always says to me, it's funny, Jeff, funny guy. Jeff says to me in the mornings, he'll say, I'm worried about this Craps chat. He's like, if 10 people show up and if we go for half an hour, I'll be shocked. That's what he says. He's full of shit. That we get like 50 people, 60 people in there and it's 2 hours every week, right? Let's keep it. Let's keep that thing growing. That's a great show. I love the fact that it's interactive like that. And my challenge to everybody, only 2 hours on point. Yeah, right. It's only 2 hours long. I don't know who is going to be there this week, Skill. I don't know who his guest is this week. I have no idea. But we always kind of glom on and we get in there and we talk about stuff. But my challenge is this. I really want you guys as viewers to jump into it. I think one week we had one viewer jump on and was sitting there with us for a little bit. Jeff's idea for the show was not to have Jeff and all the YouTubers talk. I don't think, Skill, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Skill and Luck, you're here dialing. That wasn't the intent of that show. The intent of Craps Chat was to be like a sports radio call-in type of thing. Like you got a couple of people there that are on the panel, so to speak, but everybody should be calling in and chiming in and asking questions live. We get to hear your voices. You don't have to put your face on screen if you don't want to, but we'd love to hear your voice and just chit chat a little bit. We talk to you in chat virtually all the time, but we don't actually get to talk to you. So I would think it'd be really cool. I challenge at least a couple of you to step up, and when Jeff puts out the link, call into the link and get yourself on the show with us and just chat. I think it'd be kind of fun. I think it's going to take that thing to a different level. I really believe that show could go triple, quadruple what it is now in terms of audience, because I think once we start being okay with talking to each other like that, it's weird, I know, but it'll be great. I think it's gonna be fun. Vince, 100% doing blackjack tournaments. If you've seen the Discord, and by the way, my Casino Gaming TV Discord's down below there on the left-hand side. I've got channels created for all the shows I think we're going to do. And I've got fantasy blackjack, fantasy baccarat, fantasy roulette, fantasy craps, the craps league. I'm picturing a tournament for all those games as well as a tournament of champions. All that is planned. What we need for that is people helping. Like, I can do a lot of it, but here's the thing. I got a full-time job, and this doesn't pay very well. This YouTube thing doesn't, you'd be surprised how little it pays. It pays zero, essentially. So I need help. I need volunteers to help me run the tournaments and help me run the fantasy lives and that kind of thing. To make this thing happen, it's going to take a bit of a group effort for sure. So James, you can have the mic whenever you want, buddy. I mean, honestly, I've invited people, I've invited PJ and JJ and some of the others that are really strong in the math that always give me a bunch of grief when I talk about place betting. Come on, let's talk. I mean, I don't want to fight anybody. I just want to talk about it. I mean, let's do it. So y'all are invited. I know Jeff wants y'all to be involved. I know it's Skill and Luck. When he and Jeff concocted this idea, that was the whole point, was to have everybody like talking, like a Zoom call with all the viewers as well as the folks running the channel. So get in there and get it done. Grover says this. No, that is not the answer. Wrong answer. Pro Craps is definitely in forever as a channel. Casino Gaming TV is also in together as a channel. And I'll re-explain what I did here. So I think we've got some folks showing up here. The reason for the 2-channel split is this. YouTube, again, I like to peel the onion back so y'all know how YouTube works, what we're all doing here, besides spending our whole paychecks on studios. The way that it works is when you are in a video watching it, okay, and you hit the like button, YouTube sees that as what they call an interaction. Whether you like it or hate it, hit the dislike button. I really don't care. Hit the buttons. It shows YouTube that, for example, today we've got, what do we have, 25 people in right now? With 25 people in, if 20 of them like the video or dislike the video, that's 100% interaction rate. And YouTube goes, that's great. People are fired up about that video for some reason. And if you watch to the end, YouTube says, that must have been a great video. People must love that thing. They start putting it out in front of other people, and that's how the channels grow. All of a sudden, my wife sees my channel on her YouTube feed, and she never watches gambling stuff, right? So YouTube spreads you out based on how popular or how good your videos appear to be. What happens is these live streams that we do here in the morning, we all love them, right? We're all having a good time together. We enjoy this. I enjoy doing it. YouTube doesn't like those because this whole first part where I'm just bullshitting with you, this 20 minutes is meaningless to somebody who comes in tomorrow to watch the video. And what happens is they watch 2 minutes of it and they leave. They click out, they go to a different video. Well, YouTube grades my channel down for that. And they stop showing my videos. So as great as live streams are to build an audience and to get community and all that kind of thing, it's not really good to grow a channel with. Therefore, I'm taking all the live streaming and doing it on Casino Gaming TV, making that channel like a TV station where anybody who wants to go live with me or do shows on this kind of thing, we're gonna go live over there on Casino Gaming TV. That'll only be live streams. What I'm gonna do with the Pro Craps channel is things like 10-minute videos on how to bet the come. A 10-minute video like today, we're gonna take part of today's video probably, how to do a negative progression. And the Pro Craps channel becomes more of a how to play craps, what strategies I like, and the nuts and bolts of it. That channel becomes more thick and meaty and consumable by everybody, where the live channel is just like watching Fox News all day long. You just put it on, let videos, people going live all day, and they don't have to stand the test of time. They're really moments in time. That's Casino Gaming TV. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that clears it up. Vince, my title's what's screwing my channel, man. Keywords and bank on. See, I can't do that, right? The thing is, you look at all the at the YouTube stuff. Everybody says make your titles better. Like I have people look at my channel and make your titles better. Like I'm not going to put out guaranteed winning in craps as a title. I'm just not doing it. I'm not going to do the clickbait thing. So but yeah, it's definitely hard to do. YouTube growth, but the live streams are hurting the Pro Craps side. So, and so Vince, I think, and also to piggyback on this point too, the Casino Gaming TV channel also is going to be obviously Baccarat, Roulette, everything else. I've deemed my channel pro craps, so I can't really do roulette on it. So I've kind of ground myself into a silo there, which is okay. I think that the casino channel will be cool as a side thing. It'll be like my John's Craps channel, and then there's going to be the community's casino channel. That'll be more than just me. That's going to be a bigger thing. I hope anyway. So let's hope that works out. It's a vision that I've got. Again, I think it's going to be more than just. I want it to be more than just John talking every morning, right? That's the idea. So let's hope that that's what happens. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. We're not making money here. I mean, not yet, right? At some point, you will make some money, right? Whether it's cost me, I've got probably $2,000 into my studio here, table cameras, all the shit. I've made, a few $100. It's not like you're doing this for money. You're doing it because you like doing it, and that's going to be it. So, hopefully, all that is making. Yeah. Vince, you are so funny. You're watching casino, no background. I got to find people, right? I think it's a brand new thing, so I'm looking for people. I've actually been talking to a couple of dealer friends who are going to do one, maybe two dealer shows, which is going to be like a dealer chat kind of thing. But we talked about having them teach me how to deal, like legit dealer lessons live. And maybe other people too. So not really like dealer school, but where they would actually show you the things to do to deal. So I think that's gonna be kind of a cool, like a live dealer show. I have a lot of plans for it. It's got to find people that are willing to sacrifice a day a week to do it with me. So that went longer than I thought it was gonna go, but I think it's good for you to know kind of what my plans are. And again, we talked about it yesterday. The Craps League is coming. Craps League is gonna be great. Get yourself in Discord. The link is down below here on the left-hand side. And also, if you look at the channel header of the Casino Gaming channel, the first link in the header is the Discord link. Click on that, get in there. Not for anything else, but I'd like to use Discord as a way that we talk about the Craps League and the tournaments and how we're gonna run stuff. So that would be important to get us together there. We can't do it here live because the chat is so slow. Chat, by the way, your chats take about 30 seconds to get to me. So when I'm looking at the screens here, and your chats come in, it takes a good 30 seconds from you typing it to me seeing it. So if I'm not responsive, that's probably why that is. So let's see. Yeah, name it Naked Craps. It costs lots of, yeah, right? That would have been funny. No, like I said, I'm not good at the marketing thing, right? I'm definitely not good at the clickbait titles and the catchy thumbnails, right? What you're supposed to do. I just haven't done that yet. I'm trying to make my titles speak to what the video is, and make my content is what I say it is, and hopefully that works out. So, good. The cheese. I'm glad you're learning from everybody. This is the whole point, right? We want to teach. We're all teachers to some degree, and I think also, I've said this in the past too. This is an accountability effort for me. So if I go live every day, and like Brian now practicing every day, and George practices every night, if you go live and you put videos out that talk about what your strategies are and how you're doing it, not only are you teaching, air quotes, but you're also putting into practice what you say you do, and it's an accountability effort. To me, it's like it's a rhythm that I get into, and I think this keeps me honest. So I like doing that. Waylon, bet banker of player, and when the streak hits parlay, press regress. Okay, I'm with you. Question though for you baccarat players. Because there's really only two ways to play baccarat. There's three ways to play baccarat. 4. One way, bet banker all the time. Second way, bet player all the time. The third way, bet whatever came out last all the time. And the fourth way is to do some stupid ass YouTube system where it's like player, banker, banker, go. Right? That's horseshit. How do you play it, Waylon? And everybody, put in the chat. How do you play baccarat? Are you a banker all the time, player all the time, or do you follow the shoe? That's the only 3 ways to actually play the game. Anything else is garbage. Really where you win in baccarat is those streaks. You catch a streak, either because you're waiting on banker for the streak to happen, or because you followed it and found a streak. And when you're in the streak, you're right. You parlay, you press, you regress back. Or you do a 1, 3, 2, 4, like some kind of a progression system in your betting. Baccarat, you make money not by the bet that you make, it's by how much money you're betting. That's the whole thing. Partner Bach, there you go. You're right, Vince. Teaching live stream with guests, no strategy, build one in real time. Definitely will do. Actually, today we might do some of strategy building for sure. So, all right, let's excuse me. I burned enough of your time. Let's get into some actual craps talking. Here we go. All right, so we talked yesterday, and we've been talking about what's called a 3-unit challenge. And I said, I'll be like a broken record here. A 3-unit challenge is the notion of winning 20%. It's what it boils down to. When I put the challenge out to myself, I give myself 15 units to start with. Doesn't matter the level, 15 quarters, 15 hundreds, whatever it's gonna be. 15 units, goal is win 3 units back. So start with 15 blacks, win 3 blacks. Start with 15 greens, win 3 greens. You don't have to bet at the black level to win 3 blacks back. You can take your 15 blacks, break it down into quarters. You'd have 60 quarters to play with, and you could take 60 quarters and turn them into 12 quarters, and you've won 3 blacks, right? That's the idea of the thing, is to win 3 of whatever you consider to be a unit, starting with 15 of those units. That's a 3-unit challenge. Somebody said the other day, that's easy. Well, it's not easy to win 3 units. It's not as easy as you think it would be to win 3 units. Let's put it that way. It's a challenge. That's why I called it a 3-unit challenge, because the thing is, once you go, if you come out of the gate and win 3 units in the first 3 rolls, great. It was easy. That day it was easy because the dice played for you. The dice rolled what you needed. A lot of days, though, that's not very easy because your first foray out there will crush you. You'll get a 0.7 out to start the game. And now you're working from behind. And if you're gonna do what I'm gonna suggest here, which is a 4-unit starting point, and you lose all 4 units out of the gate, now your 3-unit challenge becomes a 7-unit challenge with half your bankroll. So you gotta be careful about saying that things are easy. And again, if you can win 3 units, you've won 20%. And that's always my goal, right? 20% is pretty much what I'm trying to do all the time. 3 units is a way for my brain to frame what 20% looks like. Out of 15, win 3, I know it's 20%, and it's a target that I can be religious about in my brain and in my discipline when I'm getting through it. So like I say here, the units can be higher than table minimum. It doesn't matter what your unit is. Just go for it if you want to. And today I'm going to show you a couple of go for it strategies, or you can grind it out. I don't care if you grind it out. Yesterday, I watched one of Waylon's videos. I forget which one it was, the earthquake or something like that. And it was a bit of a grind, right? You had a couple of down streaks and a couple of up streaks, and you ground it out for probably 30 or 40 rolls, and you made whatever it was. I think you made 35% or something like that. Great. Nice little grind there. It worked perfectly, right? That's awesome. You could go out there with a huge outlay, take 2 hits and be done, and just have a kind of, let's just run it out. Doesn't matter when you're 20%. And like I said, the challenge for me personally, for you as individuals and for the YouTubers out there is to go and throw me a strategy that wins consistently 3 units. That's what I want to see. So to that end, and again, it doesn't have to be a short bankroll. We've been talking about the short stacks for a long time. This challenge can be other than a short stack. This can be any size stack you want. Just cut your stack into 15 chunks and then win 3 chunks. That's it. So the goal, or today's note, is this. We talked yesterday about this idea of negative progressions. All right. And a negative progression is effectively starting high with every win, leveling down, and leveling down. I know that we've seen a bunch of strategies out there that do this, but we don't talk about it enough. A lot of the times what we do is we go the other way. We'll press up and then regress back, or we'll go really high and regress all the way down. This idea of a multiple negative progression is interesting because it reduces your risk while helping you lock up profit, generally speaking, pretty quick, usually in about 2 shots. So I like the idea of it. And the way that it plays out is this. I'm actually going to add to it. Well, no, we'll just talk about it here. Excuse me. The way that it plays out is you're going to bet 3 or 4 times whatever your betting unit is going to be. So let's say that we're going to do this at the $25 level. My first output is 4 times 25 per bet. So it's going to be $100 on the 5 and 9 and 120 on the 6 and the 8. So it's 4 times the whatever your bet size is going to be. Your first hit, you come down to 3 units. Your second hit, you go down all the way to your base. And by doing that, by regressing with each hit, you're locking up profit and you're reducing risk as you go. And generally speaking, within 2 hits, you're back to almost even, which is kind of nice. Options for this: reinvesting our change. We're going to go ahead and reinvest our red chips or our white chips into other places. We'll pick up hard ways. We'll do other things with it. And I think that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. I'm always looking to reinvest where I can off the core strategy. Now, I made a note here for you this way, which is going to be the side strategy thing. And we have talked in the past about side strategies. And I've heard people say, oh, you should like do all this and also bet the don't pass, or do all this and also bet the field. And not really get into it. I want to get into a side strategy along with a negative progression. And again, the negative progression, 3 to 4 betting units, reducing down as we go, reinvesting our change. As a side strategy, what I'm going to do is have a separate bankroll. And so my main bankroll is this to fund this negative progression thing or your ladder thing. My side strategy is going to be a field parlay or the don't pass progression, or some kind of a ladder or something else there. That's the thing, right? So your side strategy can work alongside with the main strategy. And I think we're gonna try it today. I'm gonna try and do a negative progression along with a side strategy. We'll see how that works out for us. So that's the plan here. So I'm looking at the chat, by the way. And I seem to have sparked a conversation about live streaming, which is kind of great. I think that's great. You have, let's see, when YouTube starts paying me enough money to buy cameras, I'll get them. You know what's funny? I'm just gonna take a little sidetrack here. Your phone is good. I mean, my phone is a 4K camera. This thing is ridiculously good. The problem with using your phone as your camera is that your phone is your camera. So you get things like text messages popping up. You have the battery is not great. You got to set it up every day. That's kind of a pain in the ass. I bought a really nice camera, which you can't see. I spent like, I don't know, $600 on that thing, whatever it was. That camera's great. And it's a 4K camera, but I've mounted it to the wall. So in the mornings, I can just turn it on. I don't got to dicker around with getting things set up. It's worth the money for that. Vince, you're using 8 GoPros. Wow. Vince has got I want to go to Vince's house and see that setup. That setup is crazy. Pretty awesome for sure. And yeah, Vince is saying this to Waylon too. Go live, right? Waylon's gonna wait till 1,000 subs till you go live. You're only 100 subs away from going live. Waylon, by the way, hit 1,000 subs in like a month, which is freaking amazing. Right? We should definitely do this for sure. We'll have a definite live stream celebration for Waylon. You got to do that, and you can go live anytime, Waylon. You're allowed to go live from day one, so they don't restrict you. I don't think you should. You should wait. I think you should just do it. I mean, going live is great. Like I said, to me, the lives detracted from my channel so much. I went away from it to this channel here, but going live is awesome. Go for it. Anyway, let's go back to talking about craps. Let's see. Where was I? Negative progressions and the separate bankroll. So let's do a quick demonstration. I'm going to go to the table, and I want to show you a couple of ideas here. And again, I'm going to bring up the small view first. And let's talk about what a negative progression looks like. And I was working with Dylan at Skill and Luck yesterday over chatting, and we had some ideas on this. And I want to show you kind of the money behind this and the way that this thing actually works. So here we go. We're going to go with a $48 6 and 8. And I'll show you why. We're going to go to 45, 48. $48 on both the 6 and 8. It's 4 units over table minimum. So it's $48 out there. So think about 4 units. I'm going to put the whites next to it so you can see where we are. We have 4 betting units out here. $48. 4 times 12, 48. On the 6 and the 8, when that pays, that's going to pay 56. I'm going to pay that in reds because we need reds in our stack. I'm going to pay it in red chips. So 55, $56 when that pays. What we're going to do is tell our dealer, make them both look like 36. So you're going to go from 48, 4 betting units down to 3 betting units and make it look like 36. So that looks like this. And the reason why I paid myself in red chips was this, because it's going to be a bit of a pain. 25, 25, there's 36, there's 36, And back to my rack I go. I probably could have done it in greens, I guess. Back to my rack I go with this amount of money. Now what I started out with, 48 and 48, 96 bucks, right? What I've got in my rack right now is 75, 80 bucks. So the 80 bucks in my rack, I'll actually make those look like green chips so we can see them. There's green chips after one hit. So one hit, because we took our money and came down to level 3, we've got 80 bucks out of our 96 bucks in our rack already. The second hit at $36 we know pays 42 bucks. After the $42 hit, we're gonna go down to base and make them both look like 12. So we're gonna take 42 bucks off here. We're gonna go from level 3. I'll pay it out, 25, 42 bucks. Make them both look like 12. We're going back down to 1 unit. These will look like this now. Get back your quarters and you're down to here, okay? Put your ones on. Where are we in the rack? We started out with $96 out there. There's 100. If I make these whites look like a red, we have 50, 60, 70, $1 in profit in 2 hits, okay? You start high, you work your way down the ladder that way and bring your money back with you as you go back down the ladder, and you're back at base, you've locked a profit, and you have money to go fight again. If you think about a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 strategy, this way of playing sets you up really well to do that. Phase 1 was our big money. It was our $96 that was our 48 and 48 that was out here, right? We took 2 hits, came all the way back down. Now we're at what you would call your base. Your phase 2 strategy is be at base and show a profit. Well, we've already shown a profit. Technically speaking, this money here is what you're playing with. You've got your base reset. What's out here, I could actually spread this across and get my insides with it. I could break down another quarter if I'd like. And I can go all the way across and have profit still. I can set myself all the way up in 2 hits, right? Going from 4 units down to 3 units, down to base is the way to do it. 2 hits, you're all the way across, you've got profit, and you've got money for next time. That's a pretty cool way to do it. And that's why I really like the negative progression. However, the downside to this is pretty obvious. Let's get it set back up again. There's going to be 35, 45. For 3 hits, you're here. Or for the first 2 hits, you're in a world where you have all your money at risk, right? To do this right, you've got to come out with 4 units, 4 betting units in action to make it right, which is a lot. Now here we are at 96 bucks. But really what you would probably do is this. You probably have, I'm gonna say, let's do 40 here too. Because now you're inside. 4 units inside, so 40, 40, 48, 48. That's 4 times 4, it's 168. 161, that's 176 out there, okay? At the 4 unit level, which makes it, again, it's expensive to do that. So this kind of a strategy to go all the way out for 4 units and come back down, you gotta have bankroll to support this. That's why this is a phase 1 strategy. At a phase 1 level, remember we talk about this, your phase 1 level is all your bankroll is available to you to make bets like this. So you can get this down quickly. And again, the same rules apply here. Whatever, we can roll it out real quick, but whatever rules apply before, the same levels will work. Let's go ahead and roll a quick little example here. This is 6. We'll assume the point's 10. It doesn't matter. The point's 10. And that 48 pays 56. And I bring everything down a unit to level 3. So we're going to go from 40 to 30, from 40 to 30. I shorted myself a nickel there, 40 to 30 on both of those, okay? These are gonna go to 36, 25, 30, 35, 36, 25, 35, 36, everything comes down. The whole unit, the whole board comes down 1 unit like this. Where are we at? If we set back up, I'm gonna set up a fake set of bets back here so you can see how fast we get back to our 40 bucks. I'm gonna turn those in for greens. I want you to just visually see this here. Okay, there is 25s, that's your bases across the bottom, and we're almost there. One hit, we've got $100 and change back. The second hit of any one of these pays 42 bucks, 30, 30, 36 pays 42. So if I come out and take 25, I will pay these in reds. So 20, 40, $2. Anything hits here, it pays 42 bucks. Now we say, make it look like 44 inside. And how that turns into this, there's 12, there's 12, there's 10 rather, there's 10, and we'll take 12 bucks off of here. Now we're at 42 inside, or 44 inside, and the rest of this comes back to us. Check out what happens here. We're gonna go ahead and actually go 64 across. We'll just say this, boom. Give me all the way across. If you look at where we started with each bet here was 40 bucks to start with. There's 40 bucks there. If I take that, let's just go ahead and get 50 in whites, in reds rather. And again, just a quick bankroll demonstration here. There's 40, 40, 40, 40. We'll cap these with our whites. There's our starting bankroll, our starting 5, 6, 8, and 9. What's in the rack? 105 bucks. Plus 64 across. Pretty cool, right? A double regression from that level earns you an across bet paid for, because your money's back in your rack, plus 100 bucks in profit. You come out of here in 2 hits with good profit and an across bet by starting high and working your way backwards. And again, it feels rough because you got so much at risk in the early stages there, right? So the negative progression is potentially hard on your bankroll because of the size you're gonna be playing it at. So that's the way that it kind of shakes out, is 4 units wherever you want. You can do the 4 and 10 only, or the 4, 10, 5, and 9, or all the way across, or whatever you want to. Personally, you should know by now, I enjoy having more targets than not having more targets. Like, I would rather do it where I'm here, 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 and here. I would rather go inside with it and have 4 targets to hit versus just the 6 and the 8. But your bankroll may put you in a position where all you can afford is the 6 and the 8 at that 4 unit level to work your way backwards from that. So bankroll being your number one factor in making the decision there. But the idea is 4 units, back to 3 units, down to 1 unit. Level 4 to level 3 to level 1. That is a perfect, I think, negative progression. 4 to 3 to 1 works well. Now, I'm gonna play it like this. Here's my bankroll. I'm gonna bring out my rack for you. Hopefully you can see that nice and clearly. What we'll do today, I'll put it out actually down here for us. I've got 440 bucks. 3 times. Here's 440, here's 440, here's 440. We're gonna take our 440, we're gonna go out, and we're gonna go big on this thing. We're gonna show you how to play this thing at the higher level. So we're gonna go $100 at each phase here. Okay, there's 1, 2, I'm missing a green, there we go, 440 bucks. I'm doing it in green to make it easy. You might even tell your dealers, if you're gonna do this, 440 inside, I'm going to regress. They may set it up with greens like I just did. And I did that for this reason, because when I regress, if it's all blacks, it's a pain in the ass to change out the colors. So 440 inside at the green level. Now, I've got a second bankroll here that we talked about. This is my side bet money. The side bet money can be whatever we decide it's gonna be. Okay, I'm gonna let a couple of rolls happen, but this right here could be a don't pass progression with a ladder. This right here could be a field progression with a ladder. Separate, I'm gonna try and make 20% at here as well. I'm gonna try and turn 300 bucks into 400 bucks down here. I'm gonna try and turn 1440 or the 440 up here. I'm gonna try and earn another 3 blacks up here. So this one here is trying to win me 3 blacks. This one here is trying to win me 100 bucks. That's my goal. 3 blacks out of this, that's 20%. This is 1,500 bucks, by the way. It's like 1,390 or something. So basically 3 blacks out of this crew, and 4 greens out of that crew, and we're gonna be good. Let's turn the puck off and play that out. I'm gonna try and play this out with 440 inside as my progression and a green level side bet. Now, if I do it on the don't pass, I'm playing against myself, but again, this is a separate gambit than this is. So I'm playing 2 separate games at once. You can look at this as a precursor to team play, but in my own rack, I can play both sides of this thing. It's totally fine to do that. I'm gonna actually wait for a field number and then jump into the field, and we're gonna go with the field parlay and ladder at the same time. We're gonna do both. Point will be 9. Coming out to a 9. Here we go. 2 hits on the inside, I mean 2 inside hits. There's an 8, a 6, or a 5, 3, 8. Okay, so 120 is gonna pay 140. There's 140 for the 8, and we're gonna bring it down to 330 inside. So make it look like 330, please. Here comes a quarter, here comes 30, here comes 30, here comes a quarter. So back into my rack we go. We're gonna build up 440 over here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take this black and make it quarters because I'm gonna make the whole thing look like quarters back here. So there's 100, there's 225, and those reds, I'm gonna put them over here for now. I'm gonna keep them aside just to have a visual on them, but I've got 225 out of my 440 back in my rack, and I'm at level 3. One more hit, please. 1, 2, 3, shocker. Now there's our first field. The second play, the field gambit, goes into effect. I see a field number, I go in. We're gonna hopefully get a way to parlay a field in here and make some cash. Hey, look at that. The midnight pays 3 units, 1, 2, 3. On my table, it pays 3 units in Reno. It plays 3 units at a few places in Vegas. I'm gonna go with the triple play. Awesome. We're gonna go and parlay it up. I'm gonna put this in the rack. That second gambit has made me a quarter already, which is really cool. That's a leaner. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. It's a leaner. It's a 426. There it goes, a 426. Okay, so a $90 6 pays 105 bucks. There's 105, and again, I'll do it in greens, 105. Make this look like 110 inside, please. Or we might even say, make me 160 across. Okay, let's do that. Let's go 160 across. Which means I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take all the bets that I've got here, we're gonna regress them down to 1 unit. We're gonna pick up the outsides, and whatever is left in front of us becomes our profit. How's that play in the rack? There's 300. There's 400. There's 425. Oh my gosh. 425, 440. There's our starting money. Here is what we've earned so far. We've earned 100. I'll put it over here. 135 bucks in 2 hits. 2 hits up here was 135. We lost our field, which is a bummer. But look at the work we did. We've got 135 in the rack. We've got 160 on the grid. Okay. If I pull this 160 down, which I'm allowed to do at any point in time, how much would that be? I'm going to pull it down and show you because I want you to see this. I'm going to put it in the rack. Whoops. We are $5 short of 3 units in 2 hits. $5 short of 3 units in 2 hits. We made it work. Okay. Essentially, you can go home now. That's a 3-unit challenge win right there. But that's not why we're here today. We're going to go ahead and be a little more aggressive than that. We're going to go ahead and do our cross bets and try and work this to more profit. And again, I'm looking for a field to play the side bet. We got 1 good hit on that. We missed it on the second one. 325. 5 pays 35 bucks. Now from here, I'm going to press as fast as I can the color. I want to get these bets to the black level as fast as I can. I'm going to go all the way to 50 bucks in that 5. I'm going to put this reds in the rack. There's a 9. 549. 9 pays 35 bucks. Again, go to the 50 bucks, put 2 reds in the rack. That was a field number. In we go. Let's catch a little field train here if we can. There's a 6. Lose the field. 6 pays 35. We're going to go to 60 bucks on the 6. Because the field lost, we're going to press it up. We're going to ladder it up and make that field work for us. There's a 7 out. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Didn't get these to black like I wanted to, but you see the progress, where we're headed. That was the idea there. How did we do? Not too bad. We lost 50 bucks in here because we chased that one loss and had an ill-timed 7. We won back our money, but the other strategy showed us a profit. We're halfway to goal, essentially here with that play. Let's turn the puck off. We'll do it again. I'll take this 440 out here and come right back out with 1, 2, 3, 440 inside, please. And here's the 40 bucks. That'll be 120 there, 120 here. Those bets will be off with the puck, but we're getting them preset. We're going to come back out and reset everything. There's a midnight. Okay, now if I'm doing this the way I should be, the minute I see one, I'm going in. Puck on or puck off, doesn't matter. That field is going to be its own thing. There's a 4-2-6. So we're on the 6. We lose our field. We'll see how this field gambit works. That may cost us 300 bucks. We'll see, but it's a home run kind of a strategy. There's a Yo 11. That pays 50. What I'm going to do with that, normally I would press the second hit in the field. Because we chased it, we're going to come back down to base and restart a new progression from base. 3, 2, 5. Okay, great. The 5 hits. At the $100 level, it pays 140. We're going to bring everything down. Say, please make me look like 330 inside. These will all come down by 1 unit. There we go. And all this comes back to our rack. And again, I'll start setting up the back half of that rack to replace the 440 that came out. There's 100, there's 200, 225, and actually if I take these and make a green out of it, there's 250 in the back. So we're getting there on that. This one loses. Come back out with level 2. Awesome, hard 6. Pays 105. I'll say make me 160 across. So 160 across looks like this. And all of this comes back to my rack as change. Getting crushed in the field, by the way. So go to the profit side. Or actually, we're going to set this up. There's 300. There's 400. There's the 440 we started with. This here can all end up on the profit side. There's 200 bucks. There's 250 plus whatever is reds. There's about 40 bucks in reds there. So this is essentially our 3 units. We're back to base plus a 3 unit 20% profit. The field is getting hammered. Go back out again. Let's keep rolling it out. Again, the side strategy today is not our friend. There's a 5. Losing that. 5 is going to pay 35. Press it up. I might even take these reds now and start grabbing hard ways. Take that change and start going a little harder with it. Oh, sorry, that should be a 3 unit field bet, by the way. Ladder it up. There's a 1, 2, 3 shocker. Wins in the field. I'm going to go ahead and press it to 2 units. Not a full press, but a little bitty press. All right, a field repeater. Love it. That pays 2 in the field. I'm going to bump to 3 and ride that streak if I can. I'm actually also going to pull 2 reds out of here and get all the hard ways. Let's reinvest that change here. And that side field strategy, a win here would be awful nice, wouldn't it? We didn't get it. That's a 5. We racked something off of that, but not enough to make it like, that would have been beautiful right there. But the 5 over here is going to pay 70 bucks. 50 pays 70. We're gonna go all the way to 100 with it and rack the reds. I've already got hardways set up. I could even bump the hardways higher if I wanted to, but not gonna do it here. 7 out, no big deal. I should have been in the field for 4 there. I blew that because I was talking. But we got to 160 for free. We had the 5 pressed up to where the next hit on the 5 would have been a black chip, and that's what you're trying to do. Once you get to your new foundation, your go for it strategy is your go for it strategy. What I could have done there at the 160 level, I'm gonna put this out here just so you can see it. At 160, an option that I would have had would have been this. I could have gone 54, 50, 10, 25, and 25, okay? And taken the reds home. That could have been my out, right? Instead of going 160 across, I could have done the 410 hard way thing, right? You can take from your second regression down in that negative progression, you can do whatever you want to with your profits. You could take the whole damn thing back to your rack if you want to. I went 160 across, again, could have done 50, 50, 25, and 25 and hammered the 4 and 10 if we wanted to, right? You could have morphed into any other strategy you wanted to once you get your 2 hits, but the progression's where that's at. That negative drawdown, I think, is really cool. If you can hit it like we did today twice, it actually feels like it's a pretty solid way to play until you lose it, right? What if, let's play the what if game. What if we went out here with our whole 440? Let's reset the 440 so you can see it. I want you to see what happens, because now you gotta fight, right? If you're here, my lammer's back. What if you're here and you throw the 7? And you lose the whole 440. Now what do you gotta do? You gotta think about how you play the next round, because the next round becomes 440 out of your stockpile. And now you gotta win 6 units. That seemed really easy to do. We got lucky there. I gotta do that twice now to win 6 just to get back to where I need to be. So when you go backwards like this, that's why I say when somebody says yesterday, oh, it's easy to win 3 units, it ain't easy. You go down with a 0.7 out in the first one with 4 unit level, that's a hard day's work coming back there. So there we go. All right, back to the table we go. Let's talk some more. All right, how we doing? Yeah, field parlays. So here's the thing with the field parlays. And you're saying level up. So I'm looking at all the strategy talk in the thing. When I do this here, remember this. When we talk about strategies at the table like I do here, I'm generally speaking going to stick to what I said at the beginning. I'm not going to try and do adjustments. I'm just going to go, here's what we're doing. No like thinking, because I don't want to let the world sort of change what I'm teaching, right? We got to stay with the same thing. That's why I do it that way. But last night I practiced this, of course, and the field parlay last night, I hit like 11 fields in a row, and I went 1, 3, 2, 4, or 1, 3, 2, and then my 2 was my 1. Then I went 2. I went 2, 6, 4, and then 4, and I hit it every single time. I made like $1,000 in the field. Started with a quarter. It was crazy. And I also had a 25 roller up top later, where that 160 across turned into about 1,000. So whatever. I mean, that to me is not the strategy working. That's the dice working. So I don't like to make it seem like it's too easy. So today happened to be a nice easy day. Yesterday I got smoked a little bit. So anyway, that's all of that. Let's see. Anything else in chat we need to be talking about? Up as you lose, gotta have bankroll. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and you're right. 4 PSOs, you're in deep here, right? If you have a PSO. Duracell is saying Tony Leo's an up as you lose guy. I know Waylon with the ladders, up as you lose guy. I don't know, man. It goes both ways. Up as you lose, you have, like you said, you got to have bankroll to support that, right? You cannot play an up as you lose or a ladder type strategy without the number of chips or units in your rack to go. As you saw there with I'll bring him over here. I only gave myself $300 to play the field ladder with. I have $200 left of that 300. Had I not hit that 12, and had I actually laddered the last one up, I should have been laddered up to 4. I'd only have 4 chips left, right? it's hard to do a ladder with that little tiny chip count. So if you're gonna do it, you're right. This is the way that you can win in the long run. Those ladders will work, but you gotta have the chip count to be able to do it, especially how I roll, man. My 7s are crazy. You gotta have chip count to make that work. And I think you're right. Up as you lose makes sense. I'm also an up as I win guy. Because I feel like, and this is a mental thing, there's not very many times where you get the casino on the ropes. Doesn't always happen. As a matter of fact, it never happens. Right? When you get them on the ropes, 11 field numbers in a row, right? Or a 25 roller. When you get them the chance to do it, you got to go up as you win, and you got to go up aggressively as you win. That's why I do the hardcore like parlay plus progressions on those things, because I want to take advantage of the shot that I have when I think I've got the shot. So I believe you can make more money up as you win aggressively. You will win more consistently if you can chase your loss, but you got to have the bankroll to support that. If you don't have the bankroll to support chasing your loss, don't do it, because you're going to get hurt. No, you don't martingale. You're laddering, not martingaling. Martingaling is a whole different ball game. But even the ladder, right? Even like, let's say I had lost this 440, and your next shot was 660. Not a martingale, but you got to come up by a whole level there, or 550 or 6, whatever it is. You're moving up a level each time. You're going to need $4,000 or $5,000 to do that, versus taking 3 or 4 of the shots with the same size bullet. By increasing the size of your bullet like you do, you need to have a nice stockpile to make it work. So anyway, there you go. Let's see. I don't really cater to the low roller. I've done this before, by the way. I did a lot of shows where I was doing $500 and $100 units, and everybody got pissed off at me because I was doing it too high. It was not approachable. So we can do large bankrolls without hedging for sure. I don't mind doing it. Again, these chips are free, not my actual money, so we can do that for sure. Again, it all comes down to adding zeros, right? Let me go back to the table. Let's just go back. If I go back to here, the zoom, to me, it's no different doing it at 440 across, like I just, or 440 inside like I just did. I'll put this back here in the rack. Then going 4,400. There's no difference, right? Than doing something like this, where you go 1,000 per, and that's 1,200 on the 6 and the 8, right? There's 2,200 across, or 2,200 inside rather. I'm sorry, 4,400, why am I can't do my math? 4,400 inside, that scales backwards down a level. You can totally do this, right? And if you have the bankroll to come out here and grab a 9 as a point, let's just see what happens. Grab a 9 as a point, and grab a 4, which doesn't matter, and grab a 9. That's great. So that grand is going to pay 1,400. Right? And now you bring everything back down to the 750 level. You're going to come from 1,000 down to 750, which is 3 $250 units. So now everything looks like 750. You can bring all this down. And there's 700. I got to break this down into hundreds. 400. Come on, John. And we'll go 700 and 50, 750. I think 6 and 8 is not 750. What is 6? I forget. I think it's 720 or something down here. So that goes to, we break this down. But you would have brought back $2,800 to your rack after that. So it's the same thing, low level, high level. Waylon said the same thing on the show last week. It doesn't matter the level. Add zeros. Right? If you can remember back to math class, adding zeros is simple, right? Adding zeros is no different. So you're playing at 44, 440, or 4,400. It's the same thing. It's just how many chips you got in your rack. That's why I tell you before, don't worry about the money. Never bet with money. You're betting with colors of chips, and what those chips represent is money. But really, 440. Units worth of chips is the same as 4,400, just that they're purple instead of black. It doesn't make a difference. So Yeah, so here's what I would probably do the 440 across Duracell at 10. I would do for 10 shooters, right? So you need $4,400 to get it done. So I'd bring 5 grand. I would do it 10 shooters, not 20 shooters, like you were saying there. So I would bring $5,000 to do 440 across for sure. Yeah, you could do more bullets if you want to. You know, then you're bringing 10. Right, I'm bringing 10,000 in that case. So that's, your butt does get tighter for sure. If you're betting those big money, your butt gets tighter. Yeah, so if it's 440 across, then I think it's for me, it's 5K to do it 10 times. It's probably 10K to do it 20 times. That's what I would probably do. You know, and if you want to play the side gambit like we did today, great. The side gambits are fun. That's throwaway money. Like I did the $300 today to try and catch a field miracle. That's actually a really good, like, play with your profit kind of thing. Throw it in the field and start parlaying it up. That's actually kind of fun. But yeah, we can roll. If you want me to make my levels higher, I'm fine to do that. It doesn't matter here. I generally speaking try and stick it around the $10 or the $25 level because that's where most folks are living. Most of the emails that I get and I see and people asking questions is, what do I do at a $15 table? What do I do at a $25 table? So that's why I stay in those general price ranges. So we can certainly up it if you'd like, no problem. Skill and Luck wants me to search for a question. See my above comment, he says. What is your above comment? Let's see, how do I get back? Oh no. Hold on. I'm going to try and roll you back here. Yeah, we did this earlier, Skill. I'm not sure if you heard earlier, but I did a 48, 6, and 8. We paid 56 and went down. And then I also took that across. So we did that. I did that in the very first example I did today was that. Maybe you weren't here for that. But yeah, we started out by doing a 6 and 8 only, regressing down to 44, or going across with that. So that was the thing. Anyway, I'm seeing all sorts of stuff here. Boy, there's so many comments in here. Waylon, you said no, John. Why? You said no, John. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. What did I say wrong? You can tell me. Probably you're talking because I was talking about laddering with small chips. I'm guessing most likely. Anyway, I'm not sure. Write me in chat, and it takes a minute for it to show up here. But tell me what you were saying no to me for. Probably because I was talking laddering, right? Laddering with small chip count is hard. That's why I always go there with you, because you got to have chip count to you need chip count to ladder or to Marty. If you don't have chip count, you can't do it. That's what I always say. It's a great strategy if you can afford it. And I don't always have the chip count to do it. If I buy them for $500 on a $5 or $10 table, sure. But if I'm buying it for $500 at a $25 table, you have less bullets, and you need bullets to do it. All right. Yeah, I hear you there, Vince. The Grim Reaper. Let's see what else. Okay, I think that's all. It's 9 o'clock. I'm actually late for a meeting, so I didn't realize what time it was. Cool. I think we covered that again. I'm beating the crap out of the same point here today, but hopefully I covered it well enough that it makes sense. And tomorrow, Waylon's got a couple of things he's asked me to run. Buckeye Slim's got some things he asked me to run. I don't normally do that kind of thing, but maybe tomorrow will be a day. It's Friday. We'll have some fun and lay some stuff out there, and we can talk through some of the ideas there. And just see how they play out. I think it's interesting. Somebody did ask, by the way, about doing a lay 4. I forget who it was. Let me look at the questions. Somebody asked me about doing a lay 4 while I'm regressing. 100% possible to do that. However, at this level, if you're playing at the 440 level, your lay 4's got to be about $1,000 to make that work, right? Or at least 800 to make it work. Again, that's enormous. That's another almost third of your bankroll just on a lay bet, which seems and feels really dangerous to me. You can do it at the small level. If I'm going with a $48 6 and 8, laying the 4 for a couple hundred, that's probably doable. laying the 4 for 1,000, that gives me pause when I'm at the higher level. So again, adding zeros, you're adding zeros everywhere. So your hedging becomes zero laden as well. So, all right, cool. Let's get out of here. That was a good session, I think. I really, really, really like the negative progression. Again, if you can afford it to go 4x, 3x, and then out, you're doing pretty good. With that said, guys, it's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock. Thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting the casino channel, by the way, the casino TV channel. Again, it's a separate thing from ProCraps. They're not going away. It's just an augmentation of just live stuff. It's going to be like a TV network. Think of it as a TV station, like that. Think of ProCraps and as what it always was teaching craps and doing craps videos, which is the passion project. So nothing's going to change on that side at all. I'm just going to do a second thing. So sweet. Get out of here. Have your day back. Thanks again for jumping in. I will see you all in the morning. God bless everybody. Have a great Thursday.